Hey!
Hello, everyone. Woohoo! Let's get windy, says Alana.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. Brilliant. Oh, why are there millions of me?
I think that's that laptop.
Ah, hello.
Okay. Yeah, there we are.
Okay.
Right.
Michael, what's going on?
Mute the mic. There we are.
Hello.
Okay, there you go. I hope that's better. That's a good one.
Technical issues. No
Yes.
kidding. Nobody panic. Nobody freak out. I hope we sound normal now.
Yes.
That was odd. Thank you for bearing with us.
Oh, well.
The Tailwind ghosts, as Alana said. Yeah, attacked, I guess, or did whatever they did. Woo! Hello from Nigeria. Hello to you too. Leanne, hey, future nuclear.
Is that a reverb joke or?
I don't know.
No, don't know.
Hello, how are you? I thought at first they said, hello, how tall are you?
Not very tall.
Not very.
No.
Yes, brilliant. Tailwind CSS to the world. Indeed.
Yes.
Now, very glad to have you all here saying hello. Michael is here. Woo!
Hey.
Indeed, Michael is here. Hello from Swindon, UK. Woo!
Ooh.
Been to Swindon, haven't we?
Yeah, basically next door.
Well,
Well,
it used
UK.
to be.
Yeah.
Yes. Lovely to see where you're all tuning in from Peru. Wow. Nairobi. I've been to Nairobi. And Lacho is here. How are you doing?
Hey, everyone.
I am, as Ali says, ready for Tailwind. Yes.
Yes.
I'm 15. I don't know if I'll be able to get a job in the job industry. Is that possible? I would say so.
Check your labor laws in your country.
Well, yes.
Yes. And in the country, if you're working remotely, check labor laws in the country that you're working with. But having said that, I have heard stories of a lot of kids basically moonlighting. Yeah, as contractors.
I'm not sure they necessarily meant now. I think they meant
now or in the future. I think like Dan Abramov, when he was at school, he used to work for some kind of company, but he pretended to be an adult, which again, he now admits it, but I'm pretty sure that at the time, I'm not sure that was legal. So check your labor laws.
Interesting. Yes. Wow, look at all these people coming in from Senegal. For those who watch the video in the future, hi from the past. That is right indeed.
Wow.
Yes.
There you go. I bet you're quite happy that your comment was picked as well.
Hello from India. Someone said earlier that it's their first ever live. Please rest assured we don't normally start with strange noises.
My first live.
Well, sometimes.
Oh, live. I see. Live stream. Oh, I see. Because I was like, well, this is my first ever live as well. What a coincidence.
Do you think? I don't think this is. You seem like an old soul.
Really?
Hello from Florida. Oh, ex-police officer here. Not legal at all. You have been warned. Hello from Honduras.
There you are.
Amazing. I'm 16. I got a job. It was a contract. When I was 15, I worked in the bookshop. And I had to dress up as a wizard when they released one of the Harry Potters. Yeah, showing my age now.
It really does depend on the country. Well, that employs you and the country where you're working from. So yeah, obviously. And I have no idea. Was it Senegal? Or some other country? Anyway, I have no idea what the laws are like there. So there you go.
Yes. Now, we're here to find out a bit about Tailwind. And to do that, we are going to turn this currently slightly ominous pumpkin page. This is Pumpkin, our cat, and the Scrimba mascot, if you don't know. And we're going to turn it into Pumpkin's amazing Tailwind page.
Yeah, so we're going to try to do something very basic in, well, an hour, I suppose. I mean, I've seen people do that. Like, people who know Tailwind, they can do this in, like, 30 seconds or something.
This is the 30 seconds.
I don't know. Like, I am pretty sure that if there is, well, if you're a Tailwind expert and you think you can easily do this in 30 seconds, yeah, definitely, I don't know.
Look, I can... Like... That's a good idea. Then I can share it nicely.
Yeah, if you think you can do this in 30 seconds, definitely, like, you know, record a video or something, or record a scrim and drop us a link on Discord, or maybe in the comments to this YouTube video or whatever, and then we'll see. But I'm fairly certain somebody out there is capable of doing that.
That someone is not me.
No, well, definitely not me, because
fair warning.
Yeah. I mean, it would take me ages to, like, pick a font correctly or something. Yes.
Well, that's quite easy with Tailwind, because you don't have too many choices. So.
There you go. Yes. So I think we've seen that we're going to be doing this from basically scratch. Like, last time I used Tailwind was, like, good 6 months away or something. Yeah, so a long time ago. All I remember was that it was really straightforward to set it up. And it was really straightforward to use it, but I don't remember much about it anymore.
Yeah. That's what we're going to do first.
Yeah.
The setup. Because it was pretty easy when I set it up. Let me know what the music's like, because I can't hear it, because we've had to mute ourselves due to that strange noise.
Yes.
But anyway, this is the Tailwind CSS main installation page, basically.
Yes.
Now, there's more than one way of installing it, as is often the case, either with your NPM, your command line, or you can do it with a CDN. And the difference is, if you do it via a CDN, you can't make any customizations to it. So you can only use what's built into Tailwind. All the styles and things that are already there. Whereas if you do it via the command line, you can make changes, I think.
Yeah, I think, well, even if you import it with CDN, it will probably still pick up the config file. But yeah, usually the advised one is that you package those styles with it, with your project, rather than grab them over the network from script. But
yes,
it's ultimately it's all up to you how you want to do it.
Now, at some point, here it is. Yeah. I grabbed the CDNs from, I guess, here.
Yeah, I think if you want to just play around and learn, this would be literally the most straightforward way of actually installing it.
Just put that in there. And now we do have Tailwind, and it's saying something, but we won't worry too much about that. So the first thing we want to do, well, we should probably make Pumpkin a bit smaller.
Yeah.
So what I will do is I will just use plain CSS for now to resize Pumpkin, and then we'll be able to see what we're actually doing with 200 pixels. Okay, mini Pumpkin. So now we're going to get started with the Tailwind side of things. So on my plan, the first thing I had an idea to do was colors. So heading on over to the Tailwind docs, which I find very nice, actually. Good docs. These are...
Yeah, if you click Command K,
Oh.
if you just click on the website, so it's in focus. Yeah, and then you can now search, but you can actually type color.
Oh. So I want a
Text
background color.
I think it's just color, isn't it?
Oh boy.
Color? Background? And then if you type background, well, that
Oh, hold on, that was backgrounds. Backgrounds. Background color.
There you go.
So yeah, basically gives you a list of different background colors. Any taking your fancy? I went for yellow, but we don't have to stick with that.
No, I would go, you've got a design doc, you're gonna, just go for it.
Okay. I don't remember exactly which one I used, but I'll go for this. BG Amber 300. So you grab the class from this, and then onto the body, we do class equals this.
Yeah, so.
Woo, we have yellow.
Yeah.
Now it's probably a bit obnoxious, I think. That looks very 1992, doesn't it? So we can do this. So this number here is how dark the color is.
Mm-hmm.
So we can do 100, and it's a bit more lemony. I actually think 200
Yeah,
is
it's basically kind of like how warm the color is.
Yeah.
And I think it's like every 100, isn't it?
Yeah, it works the same as in the font weight you had from from 100, 200 up to 900.
Yeah.
I don't really know why they use those.
Well, it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But that's what it is, so we'll go with it. So you can go up to 9, which is brown. I didn't expect that. Now
you can actually see the warning is very clear right now every time we save. That it basically says, don't use it in production.
So yeah,
with CDN.
Got it.
So there we go.
So we'll come on to what to do with that shortly.
Yeah.
Alana has a question. What if you want to use your own color? Now, I don't know the answer to this, so I hope you do.
So, yes, you can. I think there are like overrides or plugins. I don't actually. If you go to back to the docs and you type Command K and then customize or something.
Oh, that's what
I think that was customize colors. I think there was just type customize colors.
Yes, but that's this one, I think.
You have that.
Customizing colors, customizing the default palette for your project.
There you go. So you can.
Oh no, these are the inbuilt ones. No.
Yeah, these are the inbuilt ones, and if you click on the next one,
it's this. Yes.
Yeah, so you can go theme colors, and then scroll down. It says using custom colors. So if you'd like, replace the default color palette, add your colors directly in theme.colors, and then there you go. So basically, you can inject whichever color you want with a given name. So as long as that name doesn't clash with Tailwind CSS name, you should be good.
But this doesn't make a whole lot of sense while we're using it with the CDN, because we don't have a config file.
Yeah, but it's like if you want to deploy your website to production and actually be used, or you join a team that already uses Tailwind CSS, they will have that config file.
Yeah. So if you wanted to set it up in your own project, what does that look like then? Going back to the installation docs, so we have all this.
Yeah, so you would probably just install it with or also if you're using React or something, you can click on the link that says framework guides. Yeah. And then basically pick the framework you use, If you're using Create React App or Next.js, or you're using Vue, or, it's just bundled with Vite or whatever. Vite, sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's French for something, I can't remember.
Fast.
Really?
Look.
Fast, of course, yes. That is fast. Well, I suppose Fast is the name of another company, so it's quite overused English word. So yeah.
Yeah, so you install it,
yes.
And then...
So you install it and then you use that config, tailwind.config.js file, and you can actually use it for more than that. So for example, there are like contents and various plugins that you can research and stuff. So some people I do see in the chat say it's a bit like Bootstrap. Yes, it is a bit like Bootstrap, but I would say I found it more comfortable to use, and it's kind of more flexible. It's not as opinionated with. It's kind of like the way you can spot that it's Tailwind is by the syntax used in classes, rather than by the language they use, like jumbotrons and the rest of it. So it's not as opinionated about your layouts and what you have as various options.
A jumbotron is some kind of enormous header thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that comes from, well, okay, so I don't think people call it like that in Britain, but those massive tellies in the stadiums? I think that's called jumbotron.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Learn something new every day.
I don't know, actually, but, that's what I heard.
We'll go with it.
Yeah.
Gonzalo said, Tailwind or Bootstrap, what is better? We actually did a stream.
Yeah, we had a stream on Bootstrap.
A couple of weeks ago, well, probably about a month ago now. And having used both, there we are, discovering Bootstrap, I think I prefer Tailwind. Let us know in the chat if you have an opinion or if you don't. Also, before I forget, our weekly tradition here on Scrimba is that you put a bunny rabbit into the chat if you've never been to a Scrimba live stream before. If you have been before, hit me with that tiger. Won't use this information. It's just for fun. Yes. Ooh, that's a lion. Yes. Mm-hmm. You can also put a lion if you consider yourself a regular attendee.
any cat, that'll do.
Yeah.
Or
whoa, look at that.
Any rabbit.
Hello, Tebjet. Yes.
Oh,
look at him go. Beautiful.
Yes.
So back to the project.
Mm-hmm.
So we've added our color. I discovered, though, that you might experience some problems with colors, which I will now try to demonstrate.
Mm-hmm.
So if I try fuchsia, nope, that's actually working. Good news.
That color actually exists. I was like, wow, really? Somebody has fuchsia? Wow, so somebody has actually created that color in Tailwind.
It does, but if I was using an older version of Tailwind, for example, this is version 1, I don't think it will work.
Yeah, it probably didn't exist.
It doesn't work. And the reason you might run into a situation like this is because, without realizing, you're looking at an older version of the docs.
Right.
So I originally found the CDN in an older version of the docs.
Right. So you Googled like Tailwind CDN.
I guess so. To be honest, I can't really remember where I found it.
Right.
But I put this one in, then wanted to try out this lovely fuchsia, and it wasn't working. Reason being, in version 1, they didn't have the fuchsia.
Mm-hmm.
What I needed to do was put in the latest one, and then woo, back to fuchsia we go. So if you find that problem,
so just make sure that the version you're using is the same version as the docs you're reading.
Yeah, and you can switch it with the little menu here. So this is something that you brought up a while ago, that you might end up using the wrong version of the docs versus what you're actually using on your machine, which can cause untold problems. So watch out for that.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Welcome, tigers. And lions. And welcome, bunnies.
Whoa.
I know, loads of them. Very good. So, yes.
Anyway, let's go back to the current docs.
Oh, yeah. Wait, no, don't want that.
Yeah. That's also the old one.
How do I get back? Oh, no.
There you go. I think that's...
This is it. So the latest version is...
The latest version has a very nice toggle, but I think the other versions might not.
Yeah. So the next thing we want to do is, I reckon, centralize things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can do that nicely with Tailwind. Have a quick look in the old search, because you can use Flexbox within Tailwind, which kind of blew my mind. So if you want to add display, you just add class flex. I've tried this, but I'm still amazed that it actually works. So let's give it a go.
Why?
I don't know. So, yeah. Oh, but I want column. So to do that, we need to go back here and figure out flex column. Is there a quick way of doing this, or is this the quick way? Flex direction column. Oh look, flex col, I reckon is what I want.
Yeah, it does take.
There we go.
Yeah, but to center it, you still need to type flex, right? Actually, hang on. If you go to flex direction, if you go back to those docs.
Yes.
Yeah, you need flex. Yeah, so if you go back to flex direction. Yeah.
No, this is the one I need. I just then need to do justify content.
Yeah, but you need flex before
items.
that. I think.
Oh, yes.
So you still need, yeah. So you need flex col. There you go.
Oh, so that, for some weird reason, has moved the button there. But we won't worry too much about that. So now we need a combination of justify content and align items, which they've mashed into one class called item center.
Well, I mean, you always type those two rules together.
You do.
So
I think it's really good.
Yeah, so I think that's why.
And then this hasn't currently centered it vertically because I haven't set the height on the body, so it's only taking up. Well, the contents are only taking up that part. So to set the height to the viewport height, I do H and then screen, I believe.
Basically, H is always a shortcut for height.
That did not work. I'm not totally sure why. Let's get out the old dev tools. Yep. Computed. No.
Yeah.
Height 100 VH.
Yeah, that's been added.
So maybe it's the item center that's not doing it then.
I know, that looks alright.
Because that's taking up this amount of space.
Are you sure that it's got to be, it's got to be on the body, right? Oh, is there, hang on, don't you have something else in your index CSS applying?
What do you mean?
You have index CSS file, is there something in there?
Oh.
No, that's just margin, padding. Okay, so that's just big pumpkin.
Massive pumpkin. Well, anyway, let's continue, and hopefully that will become clearer later on.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Content center, says Arthur. Really? What does that do? Content configuration.
No, if you just type content center without hyphens or anything, it should find it.
Place content.
Yeah, maybe. There we go.
Yeah, but that's when you're using grid.
Oh.
Well, let's see what it does. Oh.
I just think center is, as magical as it will be. I don't think
it is. I've tried it before.
Oh, center is a real class. Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, no, not center on its own.
Does you need like some kind of text alignment, maybe?
Yes. Let's put this on. And then we do need that. We'll come to that in a minute. We also want to add margins and padding, which is a bit magical. So come to that.
Yeah.
So, but first, I wanted to look at some fonts. What did you think when you first used fonts in Tailwind?
I honestly couldn't care less about fonts. As blunt as it sounds, as long as it's not Times New Roman, I think I'm fine. Or Arial. So it's like, as long as it's not those two Microsoft Word most used fonts, whatever. I just like go to fonts and then I find some kind of family that looks somewhat decent. But most of the time, I try to use some kind of template that already, somebody who actually cares about fonts has made a pick for me.
So with the fonts, there's a font style which is italic or non-italic, and you do bold in some other way.
Yeah, right.
The font family, you just add a class font sans, font serif, or font mono, and I've gone in my design for font mono. So you don't have to type font family, you just do literally font mono. So let's add that to the body. But one amazing thing about this is it also inherits, or the button also inherits it, because normally it doesn't. You just end up with the default styling on the button, which always annoys me, and I don't understand why it does it. But with Tailwind, it inherits it down. Yes. Louise, you also need to do justify center. Yes, I do.
Yes, there we are.
So when I was saying that item center combines them into two, or two into one, it actually doesn't. So pretend I didn't say that.
It should.
Thank you for helping me out. You are using flex col item center. Yes, but you also need to use justify center.
Okay.
Thank you, Lewis. Hello from Mexico. Woo. Hello.
Hey,
India. German to
gracias.
English says well.
No, gracias. Thank you. Oh, damn it.
Well, that too. Hello, man. Or man. Or man.
Hey.
Try place content center. Okay, I will. Let's see what that does. Place content.
Hopefully, nothing. Okay.
I think that only works with grid.
Right.
It's very nice when you do use it, but not in this case, unfortunately.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yes, so to add padding.
Yeah.
Very simple. I don't know what scroll padding is, but we'll ignore it for now. You just use the letter P, and then there's various other letters you can combine with it.
I like that, if you want to do left and right, it's really straightforward. It just says X.
Because it's the X axis.
Across.
And then if you wanted to do both top and bottom, that's PY.
Yeah.
PT is P top, and then you have R, right, B, bottom, T, and so on. So what's PX then?
So PX means single pixel, like one item. So basically, first PX is like across, padding across, and then PX means single pixel. You see the first on the left side you have like the rule, and on the right side you have the size.
That's giving it padding left. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Huh. Intriguing. So what's PL? Padding left.
Yeah.
Got it. Anyway, we will just go for something fairly simple.
Yeah.
P1.5, I reckon.
And I quite like that, Tailwind kind of abstracts this thinking for me to go, oh, how many M's and Rams and the rest of it I need to do. I just say P1. Okay, that's not big enough. P2.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Class P, yeah. Wait, is it that? That's a bit difficult to see. But actually, now I'm doing it, I realise I wanted margin and not padding.
I think you also need to remove that style from Pumpkin that we have in index CSS there.
Yes, probably. But now Pumpkin's enormous, Michael.
Yes, but well, we're fixing this now.
We are fixing this, which brings me to my next point.
Image styling.
Image styling.
Way.
Let's see what we have here.
Oh God, maybe I'm not that bad at this. I can actually.
I could only find in the docs about background images, but this isn't a background image. Sorry, I don't know.
Base styles?
Where?
So scroll down. No, scroll down a little bit. Yeah.
Pre-flight.
Images are block level, core concepts. Effects, if you scroll down further.
That's an effect you add on the background. So I think you can...
Well, it's probably just like any other block element, right?
Meaning?
Well, as in you apply the same things on it.
Oh, no, I'm being a bit silly.
Like height, margin, whatever. or width. Well, because you've done that width 200, so maybe you can do the same.
So what I can do is say that I want pumpkin to be half the viewport height, I guess. Half of something. And then you do height equals this, 1/2.
I think it's a dash.
Oh.
Because everything in Tailwind is a dash.
Yes.
Yeah. If you go to their docs and search for height, yeah, there is a lot of doc searching, which is it's good and bad. It depends how you kind of look at it.
So for full height.
Yeah, so you can actually type
H full.
Yeah, H full, H screen, H123, and so on.
So what are these? Oh, this
pixel
is
numbers.
Okay. So we don't want pixels.
Yeah, so scroll down. It should go.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
Oh, so basic usage viewport height. Yeah, there we go. So
that's H screen.
H full. Scroll down. There should be somewhere though where it actually explains that dash half and stuff.
Arbitrary values. I have seen somewhere that these numbers, to figure out what they mean, you have to multiply them by 4 or 6. Is this ringing a bell?
Eh? I mean, if you multiply them by 4, it will give you pixels.
Yeah. There was a long and convoluted explanation of what the Tailwind numbers mean. But anyway.
Because I think it's like a middle. So, I see. So 0.25 rems, so 1 M or rem is 16 pixels.
Mm-hmm. Usually, depending on your browser settings.
So it's 1 to 16 range. So basically, I think the creators of Tailwind decided to go kind of quadratic middle, I suppose, that's what you would call it. Like, 1, 4, 16. It's like 4 by 4, 16. So they decided to kind of go in the middle, where if you pick it as a 4, right? So if you square that, you get 16, and if you go the other way, it's 1.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hence why you end up with, you have to multiply by 4, divide by 4. Hence why you get this H1 is 0.25 or 4.
Px applies the given Px to both sides. E.g., Px5 will add 5 pixels to both sides on the x-axis. Correct? Yes. Maybe a border to make it more obvious. Ooh, how do you do borders? Border style. Woo.
Yeah.
Border solid. Okay, let's go with that. On the image.
CSS has kind of like made me so wary of how I would normally describe styles that now with Tailwind it becomes a little bit trickier.
So now, to add all these, you can just mash them into one, basically. So I will copy this. Nice. So that we have the border 2, which is the width of it. Let's make it bigger. Oh, no border 6.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it only goes up to 2. Border width.
So it's 0 to
2, 4, and 8 you can do.
Yeah.
But that's all. Really?
Looks like it.
That doesn't seem terribly flexible. Oh well. Yeah. Yeah.
I think, you're quite happy with that?
I'm hesitating because I'm wondering if you need to put border solid, border 8, border indigo, or can you just have one border that you all mash into one class?
Oh, I think you can, yes.
Let's try experimenting.
Yeah, I think you can. No, but I can't actually. Just Google quick search combine styles or something, I think.
Although in the docs, they do have them all separately. So I don't think you can do that. Oh well, it was worth a shot.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah.
Thank you for the idea, Ariola. Adding padding to the image shrinks it. Someone was asking, are the CSS styles we have over here clashing? Well, that one's now gone. And these, they're in every single scrim. I didn't put them there. But what happens if I remove them? Good question.
I don't think anything will happen.
Not a huge amount of difference.
Yeah, because I think if you go back to Tailwind CSS docs, I think they apply a reset. Once you start using Tailwind, it applies some kind of Tailwind specific reset. Again, I'm kind of talking of a very vague memory.
Border.
There you go.
Border styles are reset globally. That's just the border. Oh. So actually, I was wondering why this is a button, unless I've just messed up the HTML. But it doesn't have the default button styles.
Yeah, that's correct.
It's just plain, basically. So if I comment out the CDN, so we're not using Tailwind in the project,
yeah, there you go.
It comes back. So it's resetting the border styles on the button, which is no bad thing. Because if there's one thing I hate in web development, it's default button styles. They drive me mad. But anyway, I do find them just annoying. Did you know, Michael, you can add gradients with the Tailwind?
No, I definitely didn't know that. I think I might have seen
you're
gradients.
In for a treat.
But I'm not sure I've used them.
Yeah, check it out.
Oh, wow.
All right. Can you actually do anything with this? No, it's a demonstration only. But look at it. You can have 3 colors, probably more. So I can add this amazing color change gradient button with just one line. Let's put that in now. Oh, there's something iffy here. Look. Haven't closed the image. Maybe that's probably why.
It didn't center it previously.
Maybe not. Let's have a look. No, it was just that I needed that as well. But it's good that we've closed it. So anyway, ready for gradient button amazingness?
Oh, go on.
Yeah. Button type equals button class equals.
You can minimize pumpkin for now. Oh, right, because well, we want to show. I think there is an ellipsis that you copy from the docs as well. So just.
Well, I was wondering what that is. I'm getting.
I think it just means like continue with the rest of your styles.
I'm getting my ta-da sound ready. I hope this works now.
You kind of did.
Now, this is not as impressive as it will be once we've added more.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Let's just.
There you go. So that's basically just to make gradient work.
Yes. Not the other bits of the styling.
Yeah, so you still need to add the rest of it.
But what this is doing is we have BG gradient to the right from green. Oh look, yeah, then you can change how dark it is. Yeah. Oh, I like that one better. To blue. I wonder if that's nicer. No, I think. I really like how you can just change how dark the colors are. Blue 400.
Yeah, can you raise the image a little bit up?
This?
Yeah. There we are.
And then to set the hover state, you just type it right here. So hover goes from pink 500 to yellow 500. Super cool. So these ellipses you think aren't doing anything? Probably.
That's quite remarkable. But actually, these what are they called? Pseudo selectors or something.
Yeah.
So hover and the rest of it. It's quite nice that you can actually just do it right there.
Definitely. Some questions in the chat. Oh, there's loads in the chat actually. That's the point. Some people were saying that what they don't like about Tailwind, and I definitely do see this, is that it clutters up the HTML. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't mind because, well, I suppose there is a little bit because like I've written a fair amount of React, but obviously I'm a little bit awful at CSS. So mainly it's like there was someone else who was helping me with styling when I would just like write the functionality. So I already write my HTML inside of my JavaScript. So, and then there was this thing where people were saying CSS in JS, where it's like at the top of your JS file, you write your CSS and applications, like applicable styles to that component. And then you have to scroll down. So instead of clicking to another file, now you have to scroll down. And now I think we have kind of come to this place where, if you're writing React, this is fairly natural. So you're kind of going for writing these styles there anyway. So it's kind of all in one place now.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I worked on a code base that had React and Tailwind, and it was remarkably straightforward to actually update things and stuff.
Because the reusability comes from React rather than CSS classes or something.
Yeah, exactly. So it was mostly like, you code one component and then you basically style it once with Tailwind and it's all in one place. So, it's like, oh, okay, so I see that button. So, I don't have to worry about the color. Like if I'm changing the color of a button a little bit, I don't have to worry about the color, that CSS variable, changing something else elsewhere. It's just scoped to that button. I mean, some people might not like that. So,
I can see that.
There is like, this is Tailwind CSS, but there is also a thing called Tailwind UI.
Oh, yeah. You have to pay for that, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Yeah. It's a paid resource, but I don't know.
Is it just pre-built components or?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like.
Look at that gradient. Nice.
So basically, people have taken Tailwind and then they've said, well, look, there are like hundreds of different common things that people always build. So why don't we just
share them for a price?
Yeah, well, it's not like share, but it's even mostly like here is a template with Tailwind, React, whatever. Drag and drop it, change the style, change the functionality to suit your needs for your project. But like most heavy lifting and stuff is already done there. Well, I say kind of most heavy lifting. That's not quite true, but it's kind of like most of decision making around these components has kind of been taken away from you. So, you take that and you polish it up. It's kind of like going to like B&Q or some kind of shop to get like house building supplies. It's like it's not a finished table, but it gets you a lot of the place there. Like you don't have to go to the forest, chop your own tree, then go to the lumber, all of that stuff.
I actually think it's good as well if we have some kind of uniformity across the web, because if everyone built all of their, let's say, pagination navigations from scratch, then they might make different decisions about how they work. So you would expect it to work, you compress the arrows and then you go to the next page. Somebody might cook up something else, like I don't know, you have to double click the arrows or you have to do something that's different, basically.
I would say
that makes it difficult.
There's a lot of like there were a lot of times when I was like, what does this how should this react to actually I can't remember now, but there was some decision that what kind of state do I show to people, or what's like the placeholder should be, or
there was
something.
one stream we had with a toggle and we couldn't decide what it looked like when it was off and what it looked like when it was on. I remember like which side do you use?
I see. Oh, like yes. So it's like when it's off, which I think the reason it's preview. Okay, so because there you go. So Leanne doesn't have access to it. But yeah, you basically it is paid for thing. But yeah, you can like for example, you've got dashboard and stuff, and you have to wire it all up. So yeah, I think it's pretty neat, and there are like different components. Again, for React View or just plain. there's quite a lot of components, so you can definitely find something to at least start working from.
Nice.
And the pricing is
£219 one-time payment.
There you go, £219. I have no idea what that is in euros or dollars. I don't know, like $250 probably to 260. Probably something like that.
I'm sure they
euros.
can convert it.
Yeah.
Anyway, a few comments here.
I wouldn't say that it's like worth it, but I would say that if you work professionally or a contractor, it probably is worth it because it saves a lot of time.
George says they also have a learning curve. Why not just stick to learning CSS well? There definitely is an argument for that. And I think if you know a decent amount of CSS, it's going to be much easier to use any CSS framework.
Yes.
So I wouldn't say learn this instead of CSS, but I still think it's nice to use. It's my answer to that.
Yeah, kind of going back to that metaphor that I made about cutting your own tree and, creating planks of wood. It's a tool that speeds up work. So if you know CSS, like I don't know CSS that well, so Tailwind, I can shoot myself in the foot with Tailwind just as easily. Well, maybe a little bit less, because I can actually just use those templates, and it's much easier to tweak templates than to write all of this code from scratch. So I think it's a little bit of a, it's a speed boost to people who already know CSS. And I think to people like me who don't really know CSS that well, Tailwind allows like this unblocking thing where it's like you don't have to fight CSS all that much. You kind of go to Tailwind docs, have a quick look, look at a few examples, and then you try to replicate something. And if you really don't know, then you reach out to people who actually do know CSS who will help you out.
Yes. I think we should add some more awesomeness to this button.
Okay.
To do that, I want to add padding. So that's the same as the margin, really P4.
Yeah.
See what that does.
Okay. That looks better.
But what I want is more on the left and right than the top and bottom.
Okay.
So PX6.
I don't think 6 is. Actually, maybe it is.
That was just the borders, I think.
Okay.
PY4.
Okay.
Maybe that was a bit. OTT. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Now to change the text to white, which what I really like about this is it's just called text white. Ooh, look at it go.
Yeah. So you see, it's like if you don't know CSS, it's really straightforward to read it. Like, yeah, you have to go through the docs a little bit, but it's really straightforward to get used to it. It just says text white. You know that P is padding, so left, right, top, bottom, gradient. And then you see that some hover styles applied.
Yeah, I'm adding all these margins all over the shop, but really what I want to do is spread everything out. So what I'm going to do is take the margins off here. And then one of these, I can never remember which one, I need to change. I think it's justify. Yeah. So instead of center, I guess I want space between. So like this. Nope. Back to the docs. Space.
Between. There you go. Look at that.
Adds a horizontal space between children.
So it's space Y.
How do you know?
Oh, because the horizontal is space X. So.
Space X.
Yeah.
Oh. Is this something else though?
Space between?
I mean, maybe
Scroll
it is.
Down. On that page. Yeah. So scroll down. Sorry. Scroll down along the page.
That's just gonna add.
Yeah. So vertical space between children. There you go. So you need vertical space now.
But I just want it spread out evenly.
Scroll down further.
Oh, come on. Okay. Flex. No, justify. Content.
Justify
between.
Ah.
Thank you. Always makes me think of Justin Timberlake's album when I see this. Nice. But actually, I think I want a round, so I've got a bit of gap at the top. Lovely.
Huh.
Let's make the font a bit bigger. I'm going to do that on the body, and I hope it's a nice, easy one. Oh, yes. You can change the font's color and size in one go, like this.
Text probably 100.
Oh, that didn't work. Did it?
Yeah, that changed the color.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the size. That's the darkness of the color, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now to change the size, how do you do that?
I think it's some kind of weight for...
Oh, text 2XL.
Plus, I think that, yeah.
Equals. And that can go all the way up to
A lot. Yeah.
Maybe like this.
Okay.
So let's check out the different
Text size?
Yeah. Text size. Font size. You can do tiny. Large is 1.125 rem.
No, I think that's theme customization. So I don't think tiny is...
I think it is. So
is it?
This is what's in the config on its own. If you want to customize it, then you can change these. But these are the inbuilt ones, I think.
So you can actually change even what Tailwind prefers. Okay, right.
Although that kind of looks just normal. What happens if I do?
No, I don't think LG is a proper one. Actually, well, they're not that different.
No, but 4XL works.
Yeah, and 2XL is different.
On the body, then, I'll do text large. So that does work. Made it slightly bigger.
Okay.
Lovely. What?
Sometimes I think that to be a really good like front-end developer or CSS developer especially, you have to be really good at these games, like spot five differences or something.
Yeah. Interesting question from Rabe. Tailwind uses inline styling. Is it recommended to use inline styling? If you're using plain CSS, I wouldn't go for inline styling because that would very easily get extremely messy and difficult to use.
Yeah, that would be hard.
But if you're using Tailwind, you have to use inline styling.
I think most of the time people ask that question because somebody somewhere said that React is not very performant with inline styling, and I honestly don't think that's true, especially considering that most of that needs to compile and stuff. So it's like, I don't know, does this actually go like that to your website, or does it get compiled down to normal CSS? Not sure about that.
Interesting.
So basically, like when you go to the Tailwind website, when you go to Tailwind UI website,
does it get...
the docs, do you actually get Tailwind? So F12? No, I think that's the volume. Where is it?
What are you trying to do?
What is it? DevTools. Yeah. So let's have a look. Do they actually have?
What about it?
Oh yeah, they actually have. Look at that. They actually have Tailwind in the.
Imagine if they had Bootstrap.
No, they're using actual Tailwind classes in production, so it's not compiled down to CSS.
How does it work then?
I don't know. Not an expert.
Interesting.
If you know how it works, please let me know. But also, yeah, if you know at what point inline styling becomes really If you ever use Tailwind, have you ever noticed performance issues with it?
How do you add a text? No, it's not. No, it is a drop shadow. Drop shadow. Adding a drop shadow. Ooh, fancy inbuilt drop shadows.
Blimey.
Yeah, I know. And you can change the color and everything. Here's one I made earlier. Oh, get ready. I went all out with this button.
Did you really?
Yep. Yeah. That's in there. Okay.
Whoa. Yeah, show it again.
Yeah. Look at it go. So what is this actually doing?
Yeah.
Let's get this up here. So, deep breath. This is the margin and padding.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
And then we have...
Shadow text wide. You have rounded out the button.
Oh, yeah.
Cursor pointer.
So
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I can just round out the pick as well. Uh-huh. Yes. And then there's ring offset. So there's ring and there's ring offset, which is why it's got this white and this bit around the edge.
Oh, yeah, right. Yes. Okay,
and then there's all of this gradient. And then there's the hover states. So you can see that if you want to have a lot of detail, you are going to end up with a lot of stuff in your HTML. But I think it's worth it for a button that looks like that, personally.
Yeah, well, also, if you're using, are you going to be using just plain HTML page? Maybe. But then you'll have if you use an HTML page, you will end up with a really big CSS file. So if you're using something like React, you'll just extract it to a separate file, a separate component, and then you'll just use that button and your HTML will be fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be. Someone said earlier, you can even animate the text with this. It's got inbuilt animations.
Yeah.
Really? Animate pulse.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything. Oh.
Yeah. It kind of changes a little bit. Yeah.
So how do you put that in then?
Just put it in the class. I would put it on the image. Put it on the image, yeah.
I don't think this is going to work. Whoa. Amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Well, I don't know about you, Michael. I'm a convert to Tailwind.
Well, as I said, which wins, Bootstrap or Tailwind? I would say that having worked with Bootstrap, a lot of the time, I just found myself so utterly stuck and not being able to actually find a way out that it's almost impossible. But with Tailwind, I found that when I'm stuck, I actually just reach out to people who know CSS more, and then they just go, oh, you need X, Y, Z. Because they can actually just read the styles. It reads like normal CSS to them, and then they are actually able to help you out.
Oh, good point here. We said we were going to talk about dark mode, because that's very easy with Tailwind. You kind of
there is
use it like a
rule.
It's almost like a pseudo selector.
Yes.
So you can put in dark. So I'm going to change the background to Slate 800.
When it's dark mode.
Yoink.
Yeah.
So now you won't see this, but off screen I'm going to switch to dark mode.
So it's like it's a setting. Yeah, so it's a setting on your laptop. Basically, you can have either toggle on your website that switches between dark and light, or you can have on Apple laptops. That's like when the sound goes down or something. Well, it depends on your laptop setting. You can basically set if it's dark mode or light mode.
You can also do it in DevTools, can't you?
Ooh, I think you can.
Dark mode in Chrome. DevTools. Enable dark theme.
I know, but I think that's DevTools dark theme.
Oh, what? DevTools has a dark theme? What is the world coming to? How can I emulate prefers color scheme media query using Chrome? Prefers color scheme. No emulation. Oops.
There you go. So
show rendering.
So go to. Oh, you can open it. You can open it in the in here. So Control Shift P. Show rendering. What is that? Open Developer Tools. Type show rendering. Type where? Oh, I see. Show rendering. Okay. Rendering. And then emulate CSS. Emulate dark mode. Enable automatic dark mode at the very bottom.
That's automatic though. I wouldn't want an automatic. No emulation.
There we go.
Media prefers colors. Right, this is what I want. So I'll put my system back onto light now. I should have done it in here all along. See, why do we listen to you, Michael? Oh well, we'll go through it again. What did I have to search for?
Yeah, that's why I was typing it here.
Yeah, but I don't need it here.
Show rendering.
Show rendering. That's the one. Show Nope.
I think you need to get rid of open as well. Command Shift P.
Control Command Shift P. Right. Command Shift. Okay, that's the one I want. Show rendering. Draw. And then emulates. Prefers. No, not that.
No.
Color theme. Nope. There we go. So dark scheme light. No. Dark.
Dark.
Well, that was a lot of hassle, but we got there in the end. I really like the dark thing. No, look at him. He's like some kind of cat god.
Right.
Beautiful. Light isn't a thing in Tailwind though. There's only dark to target mode.
Yeah, so basically light is default and then dark is dark mode. I mean, to be fair, most of the time when people say light mode, they mean the opposite of dark mode.
That's very philosophical.
No, I mean, it's like normally people create a website and then they say, oh, I want dark mode, or people kind of say, oh, it's dark mode default website or something. You know?
I'm going to turn off this animation.
What makes you feel sick?
Just
yeah, fair enough.
Holy cow! I've never seen so many classes in a single tag before. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, when you use Tailwind, you will see a lot of classes. In your HTML.
Mike Kalimba made a good point. Going back to the is it advised to use inline styling? It's not actually inline styling. It's still class based.
Yeah.
Yeah. So inline styling would be when you go style equals blah, blah, blah. So it is still class-based.
That is a good point.
But we don't know how it works. Compiler? Probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Very nice. One point from Enrique. In my humble opinion, Bootstrap and Tailwind are made for different concepts, different projects. It all depends on the requirements of the project.
Yes.
Interesting.
That is true. But that's very, how to say it? It's like, it is true when you're a little bit more experienced as a dev. You can then basically say, well, I think this project needs Bootstrap, this project needs Tailwind. But when you're learning a little bit, it helps to disambiguate that. I will probably reach out for Bootstrap when you know exactly what you want it for, what kind of website you want it for. While if you're not sure, I will probably just default to Tailwind because the optionality is a little bit wider.
It is nice though.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah, there you go.
No, totally. Well, thank you all for coming. It's been a lovely stream. I enjoyed it. Even Michael enjoyed it. Even
I know.
though it was about styling.
Yeah, I know. I quite hate CSS, but actually, I do feel quite nice about Tailwind.
You can tolerate Tailwind.
Yeah, I would say that it borders mild like. Yes.
Now, tomorrow.
I mean, as awful as it sounds.
Is a Saturday, which means the next issue of the Scrimba Community Digest will be dropping. And you can find it, or you can sign up right here, and it will land in your inbox.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Saturday morning coffee reading. Bye latte. Yes. Thank you all for coming. It was
Thanks a lot, everyone.
great to have you all here. Any closing thoughts, Michael?
Enjoy your weekend.
Good. I will. It will be a rainy one.
Well, in that case, try to enjoy your weekend.
I like rainy weekends.
Yes. Perfect.
Bye, Michael. Remember, thank you for live streaming, guys. Pretty enlightening. That's what I like to hear.
Yes.
Come back next week for more live coding fun. Yes. Catch you all later.
Yay. See you later, everyone.